And now, Ask the Candidates with Jerry Locke and Ellen Craswell.
I have a question for Mr. Locke. Mr. Locke, you obviously believe that you can step into Governor Lowry's shoes, but what about his other clothing? You know, his suits and whatnot.
I think that they need to be carefully tailored to show only where there is disparity, but we need to carefully craft that, and the U.S. Supreme Court has come down with some very clear guidelines.
That seems kind of strange.
My question is for Mrs. Craswell. I was cleaning out my garage the other day, and I found this magazine, and my girlfriend here wants me to throw it out, but I want to save it. What do you think?
That is a life worthy of protecting. If we don't have life, then nothing else counts.
Told you. Hey, who did that?
Mr. Locke, I'm from Fife, where we have a lot of vampires. And we want to kill them by driving these stakes through their hearts, but some of the guys who have to hold the stakes are starting to complain because of all the rules, you know, like with garlic and crosses and, you know, mirrors and all that. And we were just wondering where you stood on that.
We need to involve all the stakeholders, and I propose that within the first 6 months of my administration that all stakeholders identify those regulations that are most cumbersome so that we can target those for reform and streamlining and simplification.
Mrs. Craswell, I had one final question. The television program, Almost Live, has been making a lot of jokes about you during the campaign, and if you were elected governor, it'd be reasonable to expect they'd keep doing it. As governor, how would you deal with that?
We would work to eliminate that program.
Thank you so much. Well, we've had quite a week. It's that time of the year again. The Forbes magazine list of America's richest. It came out again this week. Once again, Bill Gates, number 1. Woo! Yeah. Thank you, Bill. Glad you could be here. No. Paul Allen, number 3. Coming in at number 2, Florida. Florida is number 2. I actually moved up on the list this year because I transferred my Visa balance to a lower interest card. I don't know. You might have seen it. And I got a rebate back on that Disney video that I got. So that actually pushed me up a few notches. That information from Forbes magazine. In local media, we had a great example this week of how wonderful it is to live in a town with 2 great newspapers. We get full coverage of big events. Now here's the Seattle Times picture of the Middle East Summit. And here is the PI's picture. Two interesting front pages this week that lets you know we get all sides of the story. And I think it's pretty clear who gets first dibs on pictures around here. Although the big news around town this week came from the world of sports. The Seahawks pretty much made it known that they want a new quarterback, and it looks like it might be Sean Kemp. It's just what it looks like. Kemp, as you know, refuses to practice with the Sonics, says he wants to get his head together. He needs a quiet, peaceful place, and really there's no better spot than the Kingdome during a Hawks game. Now, he says in his statement that the holdout is not about money, but a need for renewal. And when he was asked what specifically that he needs to renew. Kemp said, my money, my money. It's kind of sad that, you know, since he signed his contract a few years ago, the NBA salaries, they've just exploded. And now, I mean, even those kids who had the towels out to the players, they're making more money than Kemp. He's like way down on the totem pole. But the real thing that's bugging him now is that his name, it keeps showing up on all those Bob Dole campaign signs, which is really, that's really got him. He hates that. In the meantime, you probably saw this week the Sonics were going to sign a new player, then stopped when they found out he was under investigation for murder, which, interesting little interlude this week. In hindsight, they should have realized there was something strange when his photos arrived. They were all front and profile, and that his uniform number had 9 digits. It was a little strange. A strange week, but we'll be done with that. We have a great show, so let's get on with it. Yes, thank you. Let's get on with it.
Did you like that ride? Yeah. Was it scary? I thought it was kind of scary.
My balloon!
Oh, don't cry. We'll get you another one.
I want that one.
You'll get over it. Come on.
Tommy, would you pass the meat, please?
Oh, hi, Tommy.
Hi, Mrs. Sullivan.
Congratulations, Tommy.
I had a great time, Tommy.
Oh, me too.
And do you, Thomas, take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife?
I do.
And this will be your office.
Gee, this is so great.
Have a good retirement, Tommy.
Hey, see you, Tom.
Good luck, Tommy.
Keep in touch.
Mr. Smith, now it's been over 80 years since your balloon floated away. Now, it's never coming back, and it's time for you to get over it.
Get over it?
Yes, get over it.
You're right. I have wasted my entire life crying over a damn balloon. A balloon.
Mr. Smith! Mr. Smith, look! Look! Oh, for crying out loud.
All right, stay with us. We've got a great show, and we'll be right back.
Good evening. In this fast-paced modern world where so much depends on interpersonal communication skills, the fact is that few people understand basic etiquette in dealing with customers, acquaintances, even family members. My guest this evening is an expert in this field, though, and she will be conducting a telephone skills workshop here in town next week. She is Mrs. Barbara Ficklebig. Would you welcome her, please, to the...
Pat, she's not here.
That's our director.
She just called to say she couldn't make it because she couldn't get a sitter.
Oh, good.
Well, she said she's willing to do the interview on the phone.
A TV interview on the phone. That'd be good.
Yeah, line 1, Pat.
Okay, good enough. All right, why not? Let's talk now to our guest, Mrs. Barbara Ficklebig. Sounds like we're on hold here. Are you sure she knew we wanted to do this interview now?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, Mrs. Ficklebig, I was kind of expecting you to come down here to the TV studio for this interview.
Do you see me?
No.
Well, then I'm not there, am I?
No, you're not.
Let's get on with it.
Okay, it just would have been nice, you know, if you would have let us know or
Get
something.
on with it.
Okay, I just wanted to ask you about the telephone skills workshop that you're going to conduct.
So what about it?
Well, I was wondering if it was going to be...
Hold on.
Sure.
You kids, put it down. Put that down right now. I mean it. Put it down. Did you hear me? You put it down right now. Put it down. Okay, what'd you want?
Want to know about the telephone skills workshop coming up.
It's $40 a head.
Okay, and what exactly...
Hold on, I got another call.
Okay. If you're just tuning in, I'm talking to Mrs. Barbara Ficklebig, who is going to be conducting a workshop, telephone skills workshop. I believe it's next Friday.
Yeah, you still there?
Yeah. I was going to ask you...
Hang on, I'm still on the other line.
Okay. Anyway, the workshop, the seminar, I'm not really sure what it is. I'll ask her about that. It's going to be held at the Econo Lodge, which I believe is on Aurora Avenue North, isn't it? And it's $40 a person if you would like to go. And
I'm back.
Okay, good. Now this
I was
workshop...
just talking to some jackass down at the car repair place.
Were you? Yeah. Well...
So I take my van in there 3 days ago.
Uh-huh.
3 days ago.
Right.
They haven't done a stinking thing. They haven't done a stinking thing in 3 days. Nothing. They've done nothing.
What do you teach exactly?
What do you mean, what do I teach? That's what you pay your lousy $40 for.
Okay, but do you teach, like, listening skills, you know, that kind of thing?
Didn't I tell you to put that down? Didn't I?
Ma'am?
Did you hear me?
Excuse me.
Put it down, mister.
Ma'am?
Put it down. Don't give me that.
Pardon me,
Put it down.
Mrs. Ficklebig?
What?
I'm afraid we're about out of time
Yeah,
here.
right.
So the workshop's coming up next Friday then.
It's
and
not a workshop. It's a seminar, Einstein.
Okay, good. I was going to ask you about that.
Idiot.
And so it'll be $40 if you want to go.
Good evening. This is the Late Report. Well, Seahawks quarterback Rick Meyer had 5 turnovers in Seattle's 31-10 loss to Green Bay last Sunday. Meyer explained his performance by saying, "I'm not a very good football player." Puget Sound area Albertson stores are offering flu shots all this week for $10. Not to be outdone, Larry's Markets will unveil their version of a flu shot next week for $150. A ban on jet skis in San Juan County has been overturned by a district court judge who says the county went too far by trying to eliminate them from the water entirely. After his decision, the judge took an early lunch and went jet skiing. Cairo radio traffic reporter Paul Brendel was ordered to pay $228,000 in a civil lawsuit over a United States Forest Service tree reseeding project. Brendel was reportedly so bummed out that he went over to a friend's house and crashed. Well, there's lots of activity going on in the otherwise quiet neighborhood of Magnolia, and here to tell us more about it with a live report is Steve Wilson. Steve?
John, I'm here in Magnolia, a neighborhood known for its beautiful homes, its magnificent views, and its understated elegance. But there's a big problem here in Magnolia, a problem which began many years ago and came to a head last February during the February rainstorms. You see, the rainstorms softened the land on the Magnolia Bluff here, causing a landslide to fall down and knock 3 beautiful homes on the water off their foundations. Now, the city has arrived to finally shore up the bluff to the tune of about $1.9 million.
Now, Steve, are there still people living in those houses down below?
No, John. Those families were evacuated the day after the slide occurred. Some of them have moved into apartments in the neighborhood. Others have taken up residence with their family members. They cannot move back into their homes until this bluff has been secured. And even though there looks like there's a lot of activity going on behind me, this job is expected to take anywhere from 4 to 6 months.
Now, Steve, is the city going to pay for the damage done to those homes?
Well, the city says they're not responsible for damage caused to the homes by the slide, and that is why many of the homeowners have decided to file a lawsuit against the city for damages.
Steve, what the hell is
John?
going on behind you?
Well, there's a backhoe and some trucks hauling away dirt. They're shoring up the bluff, John.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, that's Steve Wilson in Magnolia shoring up the bluff. The Washington Motion Picture Council held an auction at the Westin Hotel this week. Auction items included lunch with Tom Skerritt, golf with John Ratzenberger, and rehab with Kelsey Grammer. Hundreds of latte masters are vying to earn the title of United States Best Barista this weekend at Coffee Fest in Seattle. Finalists are judged in the categories of foam, androgyny, and disdain. Well, Japan has refused to import certain varieties of Washington state apples. And here, once again, with a commentary on Japan's actions, is the man who united Scotland, William Wallace. William Wallace.
Wallace, and make no mistake about it, this is not just about our apples. It's about our pride. It's about our conviction. And above all, it's about our freedom!
William, I mean, we're just talking about apples.
Listen to me, John Keister. The Japanese say to us, no, we shan't have your apples. But I say back to them, have you tried one? For once you've tasted a nice tart Granny Smith with its crisp bite and tangy flavor, or a sweet, juicy Rome Beauty whose taste grows richer upon bacon, making it perfect for a nice pie. You'll change your tune. Then you'll be pleading with us to let you take some of our apples back to you in Japan. And on that day, I will say to you, yes, you may take our Granny Smiths and our Rome Beauties and even our wine saps and Braeburns, but you can never take our freedom!
William, they don't want our freedom.
Who's being naive now, John Keister?
You are.
I heard that, and I choose to ignore it. But what about our other Apple products? One in particular, I ask you. Will you not take our applets and cotlets? Oh, foul things they are. I don't know anybody who likes them. Do you like them? Can Japan have them? Yes! Oh, eat applets and cotlets. I'd sooner be disemboweled with sharp instruments and then have my own head cut off. Okay, well, maybe not the disemboweling part.
Look, William, you're starting to make me sick here.
But although they can take our heads, and our Jonagolds and Fujis, and our sweet red delicious, and yes, I beg you, even our applets and cotlets, there is one thing they can never take, John Keister.
Let me guess. Our freedom?
Louder!
Our freedom?
I can't hear you, John Keister.
Our freedom!
Our freedom! Are you with me? Will you fight?
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks for joining us.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I forgot. All right. Anyway, that was Bob's only line on the show, so that's okay.
Sorry.
He's suffering with a bad cold. Get back to Maltby, Bob. Good luck. Anyway, I want to let everyone know that there were no animals harmed during the filming of this show. Isn't that right, Cinnamon? You're back there. Let's hear it for Cinnamon one more time. Great. Anyway, William, you want to take us out? They can take away our show. They can turn us off, but they can't take away our freedom!